What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, here with another edition of the One-on-One with a Supervillain series. For those who are unfamiliar with what this is this people who are members of my Supervillain Squad Patreon at the $25 and up tier. And so what we do is we sit down and we chat for at least an hour about whatever they want to talk about. And these conversations have gone somewhere everywhere, and they've been fun to do. I cannot lie. And I'm glad to do this one again with this brother from the hometown. Last time I did it, I was back at the crib in Chicago, but I'm not. And so we're doing it this way. So it's the homie Chauncey Woodson who got the nice little setup, trying to make himself look like a movie star in the backdrop. I see you, sir. What's been good, man?
I'll make it work. What's up? What's good, brother? What's up? What's good? Supervillain Squad. Just up here chillaxing on Sunday, Labor Day weekend, and just kicking it, man.
Hey, man, what's the weather like at the crib right now?
Right now, man, it's starting to get into that fall season because, like earlier this morning, it was like low 50s. And plus, it was raining overnight, too. So now
I want to be home for that. Because it was 100 and it was 119 here yesterday. It's going to be 117 here today.
I saw that from not only a post from you, but from other people I got out there in Cali also. I'm like, dang. Oh.
And the crazy part about the weather out here is when we say the weather out there, like you be like, yo, with the heat index, it feels like
right.
Here, when I tell you it's 119, it's 119 degrees.
I believe it. And then like you doing all your T25 workouts, I know it's like even more pressure.
Dude, I did one a couple days ago, and I always close my room. I have my room sealed up. I sometimes turn the air off so it can I can get the full burn of it. And so I remember I did it, and I came out my room, and my roommate turned the air back on, and I opened the door, and damn, this steam came out my room. How hot!
Oh man,
steam came out, bro. Like it's been the one thing that's been consistent I've had throughout all this stuff during the craziness with the pandemic and everything. And like I'm gonna do, because I got to do this and I got to record that episode of the podcast. I got to record that later. And so later I'm going to do a workout for Focus T25 and then do a yoga session because I feel like I need to get my flexibility back in. I'm getting flexible from Focus T25, but now I want to test myself even more with my yoga. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like how my yogi skills again. I want to see my warrior.
Right, exactly. Got to get your DDP yoga on and all.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see if my warrior 1 and my warrior 2 are good. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Like, I mean, that's really been it. But it's like just trying to keep busy because I was telling somebody else the other day, out of every state in the country has something to do. It may not be nothing major. There's something to do. Here, you ain't got shit to do.
Damn, and that's crazy because it's like when you hear California, it seems like everything will be constant and fun and exciting, but come from you.
That's why people keep leaving.
Right.
This is why people keep leaving. Like everybody's like, oh man, people are leaving California, leaving Los Angeles and all that. I'm like, yo, ain't shit to do. Why would you stay?
Right.
And so it's just trying to push through that, man. Trying to push through that. So what else been going on the home front with you, bro? I know like shit been crazy out there. Has it been calm or?
Well, for right now, thankfully it has been calm. A few weeks before then, there was the BS rioting and looting that was happening downtown again, and people up in arms left and right, whichever way you look at it, and it's like it's just a constant struggle to just keep your head above water through all of it, man.
I saw the rioting shit down there, and I understood why people were upset at first,
right?
But let me just say this, the rioting part, in a sense, the anger lash out, kind of, yes. The looting part, absolutely not. Because you had mobs going on Facebook and Twitter saying up like, yo, we finna go loot downtown. Like, what?
Right. Like the one young cat who called himself live streaming himself breaking into an ATM. And then some days later he get locked up.
This is the thing I don't understand with some people, the level of stupidity. Like, you got to be a special level of stupid to think that you can live stream a whole thing, a whole illegal event. I think it's no way, shape, form, or fashion gonna come back to you because you think, oh, maybe only my people's gonna see this. But you're like, yo, everybody can record a video, can download your videos and record their video if you want to off their screen. Like, I don't.
And not so much just that though, Jay, but it's like they don't think they can't get caught through that. They fail to realize the way the camera system works now, especially in the city, they can zoom in on faces if they want to. They can, download whatever they need to do to catch who they need to catch.
Especially downtown Chicago, especially
Yes.
not even just downtown Chicago, specifically the Magnificent Mile on Michigan Avenue. Like, what would make anybody think that, oh, okay, I got a scarf on, I'm good. Yeah, but if you're not wearing anything that's covering up any identifiable marks and all this, you can be popped off. And then people would diamond people out. I heard, like,
yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I like, looting is just an excuse I get to grab some shit that you won't buy or you can't buy. I know that's what it is. But at the same token, I'm like, yo, just save up, because why risk going? Because I saw something, I forgot what store it was. There was the video from the store, and it was like 8 people went in, and maybe one had a mask on, and they gave them the benefit of the doubt. And I say that because everybody else went face open.
Right.
And I'm not even just talking about the virus. I'm talking about identifying. And again, I'm not condoning it. But again, if you gonna do something, be smart, not be dumbass, stupid thing. Oh man, we finna run in this store. Like, it's not a camera aimed directly at the front door. You know what I'm saying? Like, right there.
It's like you say, bro. It's like people are like a special case of stupid out here, and they just don't realize they can't get caught when they think they can't.
I think another dumb thing I saw was people snatch stuff up. Some people trying to keep it for themselves. Some people trying to sell it, right? Yeah. But you see people putting, like, you can't just randomly throw up, yo, I got a $500 purse for sale now. You can't just put that up. Like, yo, what do you think you doing? Like, you can't just put on Facebook and a post like, yo, who want this Yves Saint Laurent bag? Yo, it's normally $3,000 in the store. I'm getting rid of it for $6,000. What? Who thinks you barely even work at McDonald's? So everybody knows you didn't afford that. You know what I'm saying?
And they act like other places can't get taken out too. Like, they act like you can't look up stuff on eBay. You can't look up stuff on OfferUp. None of that.
I think, and people be thinking, because so people tend to think that if they go around certain social media websites or go around certain sites, that they are automatically safe from persecution. And it's like, no, first of all, y'all not, I hate to say it like this, but it's just the truth when it comes to the people we talking about. You're not that bright. You ain't got blocked IP addresses. You ain't got, you ain't using all type of routers to dummy to find out who you are. You're not using Bitcoin as payment. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get straight up cash for it, and you're using ways that people can find you. And so then, on top of all that, not even just the stupidity of trying to resell stolen stuff, is when you do it and you get caught. Now, I was saying, like, people kill me because they also think that because not only just selling restolen stuff is that when they just do it in itself, they can't get arrested. And people be like, oh, they shouldn't get locked up. And like, yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Like a destruction. I'll be one of these people to say this. I know vocally I've also said, like, yo, all these businesses are insured. So any property that's gone, any damage that's gone, is gonna come back. And then I saw people trying to counter that, telling some, oh, well, what if these businesses leave Chicago? Those businesses are not leaving the Magnificent Mile. They are there for a reason. They are there for a reason.
Especially when Magnificent Mile is such a big tourist attraction, let alone in downtown.
Exactly. They're there for a reason. They're not going nowhere. People act like, people forget that you have big money that lives downtown Chicago. You have celebrities who aren't even filming shit who live downtown Chicago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but people kill me though when they say, such and such shouldn't have been locked up, or they shouldn't get arrested for this or that. And you're like, according to who?
Right.
Because it's illegal.
Bottom line.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I was a shorty, and people used to hit. You remember things about hitting the freights? Mars would catch the freights. You know what I'm saying? Pop them open on the train tracks. Boom, throwing game system shoes out, all that, and that's just the same thing,
basically.
Except you ain't destroying a store. You stealing it off the freight before it goes to its final location. which is somewhere in the city. But man, I don't get it, man. I understand the reasoning. That's the reason that starts all this. I get it. But again, when it came to dude, so it was so crazy because like the shorty, they said they were like first they shot Shorty in the back or something. Shorty didn't have a weapon, or then he pulled one and all this, and it was so much conflicting stuff. Did you hear about all that?
This is what I heard. I heard supposedly that he called himself drawing something first, and then when he was asked to, put it down or what have you, then he was like, no, then he called himself popping off a couple of shots, then they shot at him. Now, this is supposed, because I've heard various versions like you have. Like, when you're trying to pinpoint, whatever version is the legit one, it's kind of like, that's what makes things more conflicting and more like, antagonistic towards people where you're trying to get the legit story from. Kind of like, I hate to compare this, but like with that whole thing with the little punk Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Stuff he pulled in Kenosha. Like people was like, oh, he was there trying to defend businesses. Why the hell are you going to come from Antioch, Illinois to go to Kenosha, Wisconsin to do that?
Bro, don't give me, I'll talk about that in a second, but I'll let you finish. Yeah.
No, and I mean, I just don't get that logic whatsoever. And then, they're trying to paint him up as being, this, righteous,
hero,
up young individual who is, calling himself trying to take matters in his own hands and doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, you end up injuring, hurting, or should I say, injuring, hurting a couple people, plus killing one.
So here's the thing with that, and I think me and Winston spoke on it when we did the Blurs town hall,
and I saw that too. Yeah,
was like, first of all, like you said, you're in Illinois, in Antioch, Illinois. Your mama drives you 15 miles to Kenosha, Wisconsin, to protect businesses that ain't yours, ain't your family's, has nothing to do with you.
No whatsoever.
Number one. You're 17 with an assault rifle, which is illegal in Wisconsin.
Very illegal.
First and foremost. People talking about self-defense. No, what people keep forgetting is he had already shot somebody and killed him, was on the phone, and that's when they came after his young ass with that skateboard and stuff.
Right.
And so, but people want to forget the first part because people keep bringing up just the dude that he shot, that they see him shoot. They forget about the dude that he'd already killed.
Exactly.
Because this dead ass video of him killing somebody and then saying, I just killed somebody. Like, and people, and when people try to justify that, we already know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not even beat around the bush. It's literally, he's a white hero. And we wish, and again, the whole dog whistle of, we need more people like him. That is a racist dog whistle if I've ever seen one.
Bro, when I heard that mess, well, a couple things. First off, I told one of my coworkers, I was like, ain't nobody asked this kid to be next Captain America.
Nope.
That's what he was calling himself trying to do. That's one thing. Secondly, like you said, when you get people, especially like that witch and Coulter and Captain saying the things they said in defense of him, that's really telling about what's going on, man.
I was just having this discussion. I was on a set filming something yesterday, and we were talking about this, and we were talking about how more than likely it is going to be a second Civil War. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, let's just keep it again. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
When it comes to all these racist dudes who call themselves trying to be patriots, because it's not, your patriotism is just veiled racism. Let's just call it what it is. If you ever notice, whenever they try to make their moves or try to show their strength in their arms and their numbers, they only go in that centralized downtown populated area.
Exactly.
They never go in those neighborhoods where if you feel such a certain way about certain people, go in those neighborhoods. They don't. Because why? Because you don't want that smoke.
No.
You don't want that smoke.
And see, the crazy part is you ain't gotta necessarily be in the gang, you ain't gotta necessarily be law enforcement or whatever like that. Hey, you want to try it? Come forward.
Come right for it.
The only problem is ain't no guarantee you're gonna be making it out without a scratch.
Right. Like everybody, like, yo, it's gonna be blah 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 and all this. Like, no. like, oh, we got guns, we got ex-military. No, you got a lot of people that's cosplaying.
Exactly.
You got all the main ex-military. Those are all people cosplaying as soldiers. They think this is real life Call of Duty, and you forget. I'm gonna just like again. Even if we just go to gangs in neighborhoods, whether it's black gangs, Mexican gangs, you talking about killers. Like they not gonna play with y'all.
Oh no.
You're talking about, look, I remember when it was all going down when it was all going down in the city and all that shit that was going on between the blacks and the Mexicans in Little Village.
Man.
Remember that? How they threw a fucking wrought iron pole through a car and stabbed a dude, a black dude, because again, they was going to anybody trying to bring that road. They not gonna play. They ain't gonna play that.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
You're not gonna have it. So everybody who always does that whole man, they're gonna come down here and it's gonna be trouble. Look, if you stay from downtown, you're good, because that's all they're gonna be at. They're not moving past downtown areas.
The problem is, have these cats, like you said, they cosplaying like some Call of Duty type cats. Not only that, they didn't watch one too many Purge movies. As much as I love the Purge series,
me too.
Watch one too many of the movies, thinking
it's a movie for a reason.
Right.
It's a movie for a reason. It's not real life. Like you could try to think it's real, but again, that's like, so out here. So I'm in the Valley in LA, and the Valley is considered the real nice. It's almost the suburbs of LA. Mm-hmm. And so about a week ago, a bunch of Orange Muppet supporters, they rode up from Orange County, which is like it's like the South Florida of California. Mm-hmm. They rode up Orange County to the Valley to try to have their own parade in the streets with trucks and everything, and trying to intimidate people. That's because many people in the Valley ain't about that. They trying to they're not about that life. They're not about that life. Right. But again, that goes back to the point of these dudes and women do this in places they know they can get away with that. Exactly. You can talk tough all you want, but if you're not about to go to those neighborhoods, ain't no point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I know it is. Because it also reminds me of something that somebody had posted a few weeks back about a group of skinheads having like a mini march in one of the downtown streets. I'm like, they're just downtown now. I don't see them going to the west side. I definitely don't see them going to the south side. So it's like,
right. Yeah, they're just, because I mean, as much as you don't want them around at all, like let's be real, you don't want them at all. You just know. Like, yo, you're all talk. And again, I was telling, again, yesterday when I was on the set, we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nobody's ever paid attention. All these quote unquote tough racist dudes are either only tough online with a private profile. Nobody that's racist and tough online has a full profile. None of these racist dudes have an open profile or anything. They're real quiet. They're real silent per se. Two, when they're in public, they're only loud and racist when they're not alone.
Quiet as a church mouse when they by themselves.
Quiet as a church mouse. And people be like, oh, well, I saw this one dude, he was yelling. Yeah, because he saw people around. Mm-hmm. He saw people around, so he was safe in that regard. But you'll never catch a dude by himself, one-on-one racist, and not saying anything and doing nothing. You won't never catch it. Because why? They not about that life. But again, when as much as people talk about thugs or hoodlums, no matter what race or culture, they about that life by themselves.
Guaranteed.
They about that life. And so again, when everybody like, oh, this Civil War, blah, 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 this ain't the same. This ain't what it was back in the day.
No, it is not. It's definitely not.
You know, and it's just it's messed up that we have to see it coming this way. But again, it was about time. And the reason I say it's about time is because again, the country has never owned up to what it was. Everybody's like, well, November's gonna be bad. Yeah, November's gonna be bad no matter what, no matter who wins, no matter who wins. But again, I tell everybody this at the end of the day, as a black dude, I'm good. And here's why I feel that way. Mm-hmm. Because yeah, I worry about people and I worry about especially my kids. Okay. But this ain't about slavery no more. Mm-mm. This ain't about just trying to keep people enslaved. This is a group of people who've been able to live their life freely and will fight verbally, physically, and everything else about what they believe in. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so you're not dealing with a people that are just going to sit back and take it. Mm-hmm. You're not dealing with a group of people anymore that's just going to be, no matter what they do to us, we stay calm and quiet. You're not dealing with that anymore.
Oh, no. Oh no.
We're past it. We're past the Martin phase. We're in the Malcolm phase now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so also it's like, again, the dude getting elected, I just need dude in office to just say the word nigga and get it over with. And just say I don't like niggas. Because again, I tell it to every racist person that be on Facebook, like, stop trying to hide around patriotism and roundabouts and using different words. Say what you feel.
They be touting out the patriotism stuff, bro, like a broken record. It's like hearing a song off GCI or someone else every hour.
Well, you mean a Drake song? Because that's what you hear on GCI every album. Like, damn, Drake. Come on, man. Look, I know y'all got a library of songs, but you gotta play this Drake again.
Right. And it's like, they kill me, especially when they tried to do this thing with Kaepernick about how they cared about the veterans, but the veterans themselves put them on blast. It's like, I don't even care about us. He cared more.
No, it was all the people. It was people who've never been in the military.
Thank you.
That's the thing too. Like, so it's funny we bring this up because I'm going to tell you something in a second. So it's like people who've never been in the military, and then they got something to say about the military. Like, I'm all for people who want to march in support of Black Lives Matter and protest with us and speak out on us. But like, did you see that? I can't remember. I got to find out where it happened, where it was a group of white people screaming Black Lives Matter in the face of some white people. Like,
yeah, I saw it.
And you like, yo, first of all, ain't never, ever been a group of black people doing that.
No.
No. And it's like, but again, that's a problem I have too, because it's like, I think we talked about this last time, or we talked about it before in general, where it's like, stop being offended for me. Like, being offended for me in this situation, I get why, but the way you going about it really don't help.
Because it's like, it's almost kind of sort of pandering. And it's like, okay, I get it. You want to be on my side. I appreciate you for being on my side, but you're going a little too extra right now.
You're doing the most. Right. Black people themselves are just marching down the street. We'll yell while we're marching down the street. We'll yell while we're protesting down the street. Right. We don't need to just have 50 of us go up into two white people's face.
No.
Who having dinner outside. That makes no sense.
None at all.
But again, so when you have those situations, then you have to have black people have to be like, come, all right, here we go. They don't represent us. Exactly. But they're saying that they don't look, we got to stop that. Like, again, you get those allies and people who you want on your side, like, yo, if you riding with me, ride with me. But then you have those other people and you're like,
exactly. And it's like when they do something or say something messed up and out of pocket, they looking at us like we supposed to clean up just because they're speaking on our behalf, and that ain't fair at all.
That ain't fair at all. Like, yo, I'm not gonna have to speak out on behalf of them. Like, yo, we already told y'all, like, yo, you know what we want. We want, okay? Right, what we want. Like, they can say they want the same thing, but no, a lot of these, I've seen a lot, and especially out here in Los Angeles, you see it a lot of times where so many liberals will, and these are super woke liberals because they're the most annoying ones. They're like, oh, I'm all about these things and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, do you realize how annoying you are to the people you're trying to quote unquote represent? Like, I've seen some white people, some Jewish, some Hispanic, some Asian people who say, oh, I'm all about Black Lives Matter. And they go so hard. I'm like, yo, do you realize how annoying you are to black people?
Very.
Like, do you realize when black people have to tell you you're annoying us about the way you talk about our cause, that should let you know something. Because again, in their words, they're always, you should listen to black voices. Well, listen to the ones that's telling you, calm the fuck down, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. It's not work. You're doing. We know how to get our message across. And yes, it's cool having those people who are privileged because of their skin color. And I think we talked about this. I hate hearing people going, "How am I privileged? I had to work a job and blah blah blah." I'm like, yo, you idiot.
And it's interesting that you brought that up because one of my bros, or guy who I consider one of my big bros, he posted something up on Facebook recently where it was a quote stating that, hey, white privilege ain't about you having an amount of money or living in a certain area. It's about you having the skin color that you have to pretty much damn near get away with do anything and everything you want without being, judged. Right,
and they do not get it. They don't get it. Like, yo, we're like, yo, It's not saying that your skin color has made your life super easy. It's saying your skin color for damn sure has not made your life hard.
Thank you.
But then you have that, well, I grew up as a white guy in a black neighborhood and I was teased. That, okay, so you're teased. Everybody gets teased in neighborhoods. Like, you were the white guy getting teased. There was probably 4 black guys getting teased just as much as you. So what makes you any different?
And it's another interesting point you brought up, because when you just brought that up now, it kind of reverts me back to something that happened, I want to say sometime last year and a half ago, and you were on Collider Live, and you kind of had to tell.
Oh, you talking about the whole Jordan Peele not wanting to cast white people as the
you
lead
kind
in
of
his
had to
movie?
tell Mr. Josh McCouga, you was telling him about, you had to kind of explain to him in so many words what Jordan Peele was really trying to say, because he looked and felt like he was kind of getting emotional about how he felt like he was getting attacked. And it was like, why do you feel like you're getting attacked? He's just saying that he wants men that look like myself, you, other African Americans, as the forefront, as leads in his roles. Not just, the stereotype best friend or, the comic relief or whatever, like we've been done in so many other times.
Oh, I remember it was in the comments so many times. It was coming in the comments so much of how is that not reverse racism? Like, it's not reverse racism.
No.
Because again, I want to tell certain stories. I'm the director. These are stories I want to tell. There's nothing wrong. There's never been anything wrong with that. Again, he's also said, we've seen that movie
over and over and over again.
He said it. We seen that movie. Like, we know what this film is. We know what it's going to be about. And again, I even said, like I said, I said it on the show.
Yeah.
The problem is white men and women are not used to being told no.
Thank you.
They're not. And so, especially in this situation, like, you're not used to being told, no, you can't play that character. What do you mean I can't play that character? No. Whereas Blacks, Latinos, Asians, all of us, we've heard that.
Yes.
No, you can't play that character. No, you can't be that. Excuse me. No, you can't be that person. And that's all it is. That's that level of privilege that has been given, where it's like you're not used to hearing no. I mean, like, and then when people say, well, what do you mean I'm not used to hearing no? You're not used to hearing no in major things. Right. You're not used to hearing no, this isn't for you. That's what you're not used to hearing. You're used to being told no by your mom and dad as a kid. Stop playing dumb, because people always do that. Well, my mom said no to me. My dad said no to me. Or they told me I couldn't get a certain job when I tried to apply for such and such. Yeah, that's a different thing than what we're talking about as a whole.
Yeah, because I remember many years back, I went to a friend's party, a housewarming or something like that. And it was one little goofy white dude called, because I mentioned stuff about, how zombie movies were being a thing again because of like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, whatever we're talking about. And we were just having chat among other people. And then this goofy little white dude up and said, well, I think you'd be first to go. And I'm like, so what make you think I'm gonna be first to go? And then of course he mentioned like, well, all the black people go first. I was like, check this out right here, right now. I don't know you, you don't know me. But if I wasn't in this man's house right now, it didn't because I had a cast on too. If I ain't had a cast on my arm right now, I will blatantly knock you the fuck out for saying some stupid shit like that.
Well, also,
me like that.
Well, not even just disrespect you on that. And you'd be like, oh, so you sure I'd have died? Well, can I tell you the movies like Halloween, H2O, there are Deep Blue Sea. I can give you several. Actually, Night of the Demons from 1988. There are movies I can give you where the black dude lives. So, I mean, yeah, it's a common trope to say the black dude or black woman dies first. It's a common, easy trope. But in all actuality, black people have lived through. Kincaid made it through a Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Granted, they got rid of his black ass. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. They got rid of his ass in 4, but he made it. You know what I'm saying? So for people to always try to use that bullshit, like that was like, I know what you meant, and you don't have the justification to back it up.
And it's awesome, and it's tripped that they brought that up because one of my favorite documentaries that came out in the past year is called Hard Noir. I don't know if you got a chance to peep that out yet or not.
Oh,
That's got everybody, almost everybody, anybody who's been in a horror movie that's black. And they talk about the black experience through horror. Kincaid is on there. Steve David, Ken Forey, Rachel True. It is a pretty damn good documentary, so I highly recommend that.
I am definitely gonna have to check that out. Like,
it came out last year too, so yeah, it's definitely a good watch. And even like a couple other podcast people that I keep in contact with, like Ryan Turek, who's like now the director of development in Blumhouse. He and I have chatted a couple times about the whole thing about blacks and horror, ethnicity and horror. And he used email of mine a few years back for one of his shows to cover that.
Nice.
So, and shout out to Ryan Turek. I don't know if you watch Supervillain and stuff like that or not, but he's on social media a lot also.
I mean, I've heard a lot about him. I've heard their name several times. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him. I mean, but that's the thing though, like people forget that there are more. Yeah, I get it. Black people are 17 and 26% of the country. I get it.
Right.
But at the same time, they are a viable part of the economic growth of the country. A very viable part. So why don't you have things that the consumer who can put a lot of money into your economy want to watch? Why not make it? Why not have those things? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I just don't, bro. I just don't get it. It's a lot of some of these things you would think the solution to a lot of these things you would think is something that is very simple. It's something that's very simple, but people make it so difficult.
Right. And that's the sad part, because it's like it should be so simple, but through a certain lens, in order for us to be a part of something, we gotta be projected a certain way. And that's the sad part. And people just don't realize we're more than just whatever stereotype you've been force-fed over the years.
That's one of the things about Chadwick Boseman. Like, it goes back to his life, and one of the things he said, he was like, I'm never gonna play those stereotypical roles. Yeah. Him and Journey Smollett. Journey Smollett, she was like, I'm not gonna play. She was like, everybody's like, the reason why she hadn't been acting. She told him, she's like, I'm not taking anything.
Right.
I'm not gonna play the stripper, the hoe, the drug addict, all this. I'm not gonna play. She's like, no disrespect to anybody who does,
right,
or has, but I'm not doing that. And to an extent, I get that. Like, I got it.
Right. And then, like, before I started watching her on Lovecraft Country like that, I never knew she had the difficulty that she had behind the scenes.
Wait, what difficulty did she say she had? I hadn't heard.
Stuff about, just not so much sexual abuse, but like sexual discrimination, misconduct, that type of thing. And, part of the reason why she said she's not playing any more type of role, because, she was like being more projected as like, a sexual being as opposed to being just like
an actor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. I've seen a lot of women in general go through that, because again, the messed up part is it should have never happened from jump. Let's just say this. Never happened from jump. But I've always said this when it comes to situations like that. The only reason they continue to happen was because it worked once, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It should never happen by any means. There should never have been any dude trying to use my power to use my power over you just to have sex with you, to tell you I can help your career, whether it be true or not. And granted, in some instances it was true, but it's still, you had to demean yourself to do that. Should have never happened from jump. But the fact that it happened once, because all something has to do is work once, and then people think it automatically works. So once it worked once, they're like, oh yeah, you'll guarantee you might not have this one, and this one might say no, but for sure at least one's gonna say yes. You know what I'm saying? Coming up coming in the roundabout, and that's the fucking thing, because that happens so much. That happens with so many women in the industry, and that's why I'm so glad now you have a lot of women who are in power, who like, yo, we can, like when Ava DuVernay was like, yeah, we empower now, especially when it comes to black people and black women in power. Yeah, we can make the rules. We can make the decisions. We can make no, you're not going to be on this, because you know what? I remember how you treated me. And of course, yeah, is it right always? No, but guess what? It feels good getting it off your chest. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
It feels good getting it off your chest. And it was like, now I get the power to show you what it feels like. Because people are like, oh, that's wrong. You shouldn't be petty like that. Why not at least once? Why not to show you how I felt, how degraded I felt, how low I felt? And
Right.
so again, it should never happen. It should never happen. Like I said, that's why I like seeing the black women now in power in entertainment and Hollywood because they because they are like now we don't have to be succumb to anything. We don't have to feel belittled. Our talents don't have to feel worthless to get what we want to do, to show what we want to do, to show what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Like you have you seen Doom Patrol, right?
Yeah.
Like Rita Farr situation where her mom basically was like, "You're not a good actress," and was sleeping with producers to get a role. And so when Rita saw that, it really made her realize she questioned herself the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have people who question themselves because they're like, "Yo, if I had to have sex with this dude or a woman to get this role, am I really a talent or am I just a piece of ass that got lucky because of what I did?" And some people are accepting that. Some people are very accepting of that. Some people are like, "Yo, I had to do what I had to do," and if it elevates your career and it takes you to heights you want to go to, then so be it. But you shouldn't have to have that. That shouldn't even be an option on the table. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And like one of the most wonderful and beautiful things that I saw recently was from DC Fandom when legendary hip hop MC slash DJ superhero DJ Nice got to interview all the sisters from the DC shows and the movies, whatever, and they talked about their experiences. And that was just wonderful hearing just that insight, hearing their voices, hearing their grievances. And, especially shout out to Candace Patton, because she let it be known, the stuff she was going through behind the scenes on Flash wasn't no joke.
I kept telling everybody for years, like Candace was catching all this hell because people were saying she was difficult to work with. And it wasn't that. It was not only was she a woman, she was a black woman, and she was tired of that shit she was going through with them.
Right.
She was already out the gate dealing with a bunch of racist bullshit online. And I hate when people sit there and go, well, if you don't want to be in the spotlight, if you don't want to deal with trolls and hecklers and all this on social media, you shouldn't be in the spotlight. Yo, first of all, that is the most asinine conclusion to ever jump to. Nobody gets in the entertainment to deal with all that bullshit. Nobody wants to be bothered with that trash. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to deal with that shit. And so to sit there and say that, and then she dealt with all this and had to fight to prove, yo, I'm worthy of this role just as much as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even just fighting with the fans. That's fighting in, with production and shit like that.
Right.
Trying to treat it like, oh, well, you just, your hair and makeup is a certain thing. I've heard a bunch of black women say that when it comes to hair and makeup, how they got to bring their own. Like, I think they talked about that in their panel, how they got to bring their own hair and makeup artists because the ones on set don't know what they're doing and don't care.
And I heard, not to totally switch out, but I even heard Letitia Wright, Shuri, she even had that same experience. Because, like, when she was doing Black Panther, she got a black hairstylist or whatever, because, 90% of the cast and crew was black. But then it was like after that, she had continued difficulty in getting one.
Of course. I'll always go back to Chirac. When I worked in Chirac, there was a black hairstylist and a black, for hair and makeup. Because again, there were black and white because you had all races of people working on the set and all shades. So you had that. So you had the options. But the blues, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Marcus, who was cutting Marcus and Jay Beezy, who were cutting everybody's hair and chopping us up. Solomon and Jay Beezy and Marcus. They were all hooking us up. And so, but you have other sets where it's just normally a woman who does not work on darker skin. I've seen Middle Eastern women who are of the fairer skin, and when it comes to the makeup, all they're used to doing is lighter skinned people and fair skinned white people. And so when you get them trying to do dark people, they trying to make you as dark as possible. It's like, no. Like, yo, all you need to do is a little bit of thing here. Like whenever I'm on camera, matter of fact, when I just was filming something, not the one I was filming yesterday.
Okay.
I was filming last week.
Mm-hmm.
All I tell her was like, she was like the makeup lady. She was nervous about what to do. I was like, all you need to do to me is just cover my birthmark. That's the only thing I want. Just because that'll even out my skin tone. Because my birthmark is here, there's nothing I can do about it. I was like, just cover my birthmark and I'm good. And she was like, are you sure? Just cover my birthmark and I'm good.
Right.
That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. Like I just shaved. I shaved like the day before. So it came back. It started to even out and everything. I was good. So I knew what I just needed. I was like, maybe put a little moisturizer on me, do my skin, you know what I'm saying? That. And people forget. And I say all that to say people don't think that we as darker people, when it comes to sets like that, have those issues. They think we're being picky or we trying to be bougie. And like, no. Hell, Rihanna had to come out with a whole makeup line specifically for men and women of color.
Right.
Because color palettes, they now decide to try to do them. But in the general, they didn't. They just like, you either light brown or black.
Right.
There's no in-between shade according to those palettes. But there is. And like people don't get that. So again, what people see, like when you hear Letitia Wright saying she went through this, and then everybody be like, well, how can she go through that? She was sure she's in a blockbuster movie. She's still a black woman.
Down me the hill of beans.
She's still a black woman.
Right. And not to switch off to another way, because like with the same stuff I've heard, like John Boyega went through with his experience with Star Wars, or this ongoing thing with Ray Fisher on what he's had to deal with by being Cyborg in Justice League with Warner Brothers. It's like, just because they in blockbuster movies don't mean they still catch, hell. Like, matter of fact, a couple years back, or a few years back, when Avatar was a thing, Laz Alonso, he had voiced about a racist experience he had at a jewelry store one time.
Wow.
Just coming off, the success of Avatar.
Yeah, I think, people, first of all, when it comes to Boyega and Ray Fisher, the one thing I'm hating seeing the most is, again, all these racist dudes who, without saying it, trying to say it, you just need to be grateful. You should be grateful.
Like that fool Michael Rappaport. Oh my God.
Yo, who needs to shut the whole fuck up?
Yes, he does.
Like, yo, I don't know why people give Michael Rappaport a pass. Like, yo, he really is the epitome of what white privilege is, because black people got cool with him. So now he feel like he can interject himself in any black situation and say shit and won't nobody check him. And it's like, yo, you out of pocket, dude. Shut the hell up. This ain't about you.
Right.
This ain't about you. But like, to tell them like, yo, you should be happy and you should be, you should, be thankful and grateful you were in this role. Yo, first of all, y'all screwed me in this role. If I'm John Boyega, y'all screwed me. You made the world think I'm finna be the first another black Jedi.
Right.
You made this whole big push. You made a poster with me with a lightsaber. You showed me with the lightsaber in the trailer. You made all these things that show going out of The Force Awakens that I'm about to be this dude. And then you sideline me to a quote unquote relationship with Rose, who you pushed to the side anyway.
Right.
Then you make me comedic relief. Then you have to make me comedic relief instead of focusing on the relationship with Rose, which you quote unquote established, but still forgetting the relationship you established with Ray. You go back to me chasing Ray, who Ray is thinking about another dude.
Right.
You made me look like an idiot.
And then they figure to remedy things, try to hook them up with the sister at Rise of Skywalker. And I'm like,
yeah, with Naomi Harris, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, it makes no sense.
Nah.
It didn't. Yeah, was that Naomi Harris?
Yeah, no, her name's Naomi Ackie.
That's what it is.
Naomi Ackie, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, it made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It made no sense. It's like, you trying to do, and then when you get Ray Fisher's thing, like, again, okay, yes, a lot of his stuff was cut out of Justice League. We'll see that in the Snyder Cut. Like, everybody knows how I feel about that.
Right.
But when he started calling out, Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, like, yo, you unprofessional as fuck. Because, like, if that's the case, like, if they were hella unprofessional, that explains why a lot of his stuff was chopped.
Right.
But now the whole Warner, because did you see Warner Brothers tried to come out and was like, "Yo, we've been trying. He ain't working with us." And then Ray Fisher was like, "I need y'all to check this young email right here." And everybody's like, "Oh."
Ray Fisher.
Well, here's the thing I've been hearing. Like a lot of people have been saying this might make him not work in Hollywood again. This might make him not work with Warner Brothers again.
Right. You're gonna get work elsewhere.
Oh, he finna for sure. They wait until it's all blow down and he finna get work. He's gonna get work. Because if again, the only way if he does it, if he gets blackballed like a Kaepernick did, it's like, all right, y'all proved it. But because especially what's gonna happen is this is not what's gonna happen. Especially what'll have to happen is, excuse me, when the Snyder Cut comes out. When the Snyder Cut comes out,
right?
It's got to show him in such a way that you're like, yo, y'all bogus.
Right, exactly.
Because technically, right now, as of now, he signed on for the Flash.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
You know what I'm saying? As of now, but it's supposed to be like, if you see this Snyder Cut, and he's like, well, shit, we need it. Well, which we kind of did anyway, because he would explain the mother box situation.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But then you have people, oh, he should have just been grateful to be in that movie. You're not going to ever tell any white actor ever that they should have been grateful. Never. I don't care what nobody says.
Because I'll put it to you like this. After all this blows over, like you said, I bet you money. Jordan Peele going to give him a holler. Be like, hey, why don't you come sign up on my next Blumhouse project?
Hold on. It went off for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
So I'm going to say my line again, and then you say yours.
All right.
I'm putting the time down.
Okay.
Nobody told Brie Larson, like, you should be grateful. They just said, we won't see the movie.
Right. And I'll put it to you like this, like you had just mentioned, and when it blows over, I bet you either Blumhouse or Jordan Peele are going to get this man a holler, be like, yo, I need you in this next Blumhouse project. Or even more, Jordan Peele be like, hey, I would like to do a couple episodes of Lovecraft Country for me.
Oh, for sure. Jordan Peele has already said, I got you.
See?
Jordan Peele's already said, I got you. And see, that's the thing. Jordan Peele now being an Oscar award winner, whether it was writer or whatnot, and his films are critically acclaimed, he has the power. He has the power to. So it's like, he's one of those people that's going to be straight. John Boyega going to be straight.
Oh, yeah. John Boyega can be fine.
Because also, Boyega, everybody's like, Boyega killing his career. Boyega had a career before Star Wars.
Thank you. Attack the Block.
Like Boyega was doing things. The thing is, you can't take away him being in Star Wars now. You can't take it away. All you can do now is say, okay, he'll never be in another Star Wars. Basically, I think we understood that him nor Oscar Isaac want to ever be in a Star Wars thing again.
Right.
They pretty much had made it clear this was terrible.
Yeah. And speaking of that, it's even crazy to hear that Daisy Ridley could barely even get work after that. But now that she brought all that out, now she's starting to get offers after she said what she said.
I didn't hear the full thing about it. I knew she said something. What did she say?
She just basically said it was hard for her to get any other role that she tried to, go for because, almost everybody tried to refer to her as Ray, or kind of like the similar situation to what Journey Smollett went through, where she won't play any other type of role. Or any kind of role, I should say.
Yeah, and I hate it. So I'm glad you said that because now you're gonna have people maybe listening to this later when I release it public who are like, see, well, she could have been working, but she didn't want to work. And like, yo, that's not how. No. You got to understand this. People can have respect for themselves in what role they decide to play. People don't have to just all of a sudden say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and be the hoe. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and be the stripper. They don't have to say that. Again, there's no knocking the people who play in it. Because again, I watch P-Valley and it's an amazing show. And all the actors on that show are fucking phenomenal. Right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she doesn't want those roles. And again, I've been the lead in the new trilogy of a historic franchise. I don't care if fandom is half like, yeah, this is great, and the other fandom is like, hey, yeah, this is terrible. I've been the star of billion-dollar movies. Treat me as such. Like, again, people want to make things out of nothing.
Right.
But you got to hold to yourself. When it comes again, Ray Fisher, will he work again? More than likely. Like I said, Jordan Peele got him. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's all depend on the Snyder Cut. And as far as John Boyega, my man's is like, I made my money. Y'all not hurting me.
He good. He good to go. So
Y'all not
I'm not
hurting
worried
me.
about either one.
I don't.
You folks just kill me how they want to put certain people on certain platforms or plateaus and be like, well, he gonna be known for this and nothing else or whatever like that. Look at our man's Chadwick. He broke all barriers on every role he did, and he turned down stuff that he didn't want to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm bringing up earlier. Like he said, he wasn't playing no stereotypical roles. So every role he played, which is crazy because 42 is a great film to a lot of people now who have seen it. But at first, a lot of people didn't see 42.
Right.
A lot of people didn't see Get On Up. A lot of people didn't see Thurgood. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see these movies where he was playing these other Black historical characters, these Black historical figures. People didn't see these movies. People didn't see the other films he did. His breakout role, people can be like, yo, his breakout to the world role is Black Panther.
Right.
Which, again, he'd already broken out, but he hadn't broken out to the world. I think I had to tell that to Winston and Brothers. He was like, oh, I get it. I'm like, yeah, we knew of Chadwick Boseman. There was no argument about that. Like, we knew in the States, we knew who Chadwick Boseman was. Oh, the dude who played James Brown, the dude who did Thurgood Marshall, the dude who did Jackie Robinson. Yeah, we know who Chadwick Boseman is. But now the world knows because he's Black Panther. And because he's Black Panther and good at Black Panther,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? The world is going back and watching his other projects. And then when the Five Bloods comes out and 21 Bridges come out, you already own it because it's Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, sir.
But people forget, like, you can't. I've literally, so in my role, my first major role, I played a thug, but I played a thug with a purpose. A lot of us who did Chirac did that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. I played a thug who was trying to help another thug think about another thing besides gang life.
Exactly.
And people like, well, Wesley Snipes played the thug. He was also Nino fucking Brown. Like,
he played a daggone, what's that, U.S. Marshal in what's Passenger 57.
And he was a former government agent in U.S. Marshals. And then but then when I do Landline, I play the best friend who was also a bouncer at a club who you don't ever see ever bounce at a club, but whatever.
Right.
I play. Well, actually, I did bouncer at one thing, an event. So you see me at that. Then in the movie Glassjaw, I play a prison security guard. Which, now that I think about it in retrospect, I auditioned to play the prisoner. I auditioned to play the dude in jail, and they was like, "Hey, can you do the prison guard?" And I was upset because it wasn't as many lines. But then I watched it, and I was like, "I think I'm better being the guard.
Right.
I think I'm better being the guard." Even though I was a fat ass guard, I watched myself and I was like, Jesus Christ. Bro, side note, I've been looking at myself in old roles, and that's been like maybe 2-3 years ago, and I was like, oh my God. I was so in denial of how big I was. I was so in denial that now I see myself in those roles. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Right.
Because I remember for Glassjaw, bro, I remember them getting me my wardrobe. They was like, what size pants you wear? And I said 44. I said, because I was wearing a 44. I thought, bro, they gave me a 44 and I could barely put them bitches on around my waist. I was like, oh, and then I didn't think my stomach was that far out. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh God. But I was still fucking. I was like, yo, I'm still able to get, like,
hey, you still do what you can do. Hey.
Right. I was like, but like, I think
you was like my man's on Insecure. What was that this past season? Season 4.
Oh, the TSA guard. Yup. I live my life like the TSA dude.
Right.
Like he was out here killing it. Like I started, like I said, I was watching stuff, and I was like, because I had to make a new reel for my acting stuff.
Right.
And the thing is, I don't have like a lot of stuff theatrical that's me at this size now. And so when I'm watching stuff, I'm like, oh. And the crazy part is I have none of those. Anything I've worn that might have been my own clothes or whatever, like all my old clothes I had from when I was heavy, it's like, I'm not putting none of that on ever again.
Oh, damn.
Because I don't want to, like, I think I got rid of all of my 3XL and 4XL t-shirts. The only shirt I have that's a 3XL that I know that I wear is my Shad Gaspard shirt, my memorial shirt, because I didn't know if the shirts were going to run small.
Right.
So to be on the safe side, I bought it one size up. Because again, 3XL, 4XL fits perfectly here.
Right.
But it's loose as hell in the waist area. So it looks like I got on a blouse.
That's how I kind of feel like for me nowadays when I'm rocking like a 2XL. Because 2XL, it fit like tight and snug on me. But then when I got back to like, you know, my workout phase and just eating right or whatever, I felt myself slowly but surely just slimming down some. Like you said, like the 2XL, it fit fine up around here. But then, like you say, when you get around here, it gets a little bit on.
Well, that's how my 2XLs are now. My 2XLs get a little loose around the waist, which I'm cool. Because I can fit 2XLs now, which I'm so happy, dude. I can buy 2XLs again. Like, I didn't think I could. Like, my biggest thing with my weight loss is my sweets. I have a sweet tooth so bad.
Damn, yeah.
My body. So here's the funny thing, though. My body is like, okay, we got you. I have a virus called H. pylori, which means sometimes I'll throw up my food I eat. And also, after when I had my surgery for my throat, my stomach shrunk, so I can't hold a lot of food anyway. But when I eat sweets, like late, and I call myself trying to eat sweets late, my body will make me throw that shit right back up. My body's like, I can eat sweets.
You ain't having that.
Any other time of the day, I can do it. Let's say it's 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, yo, I want a Reese's peanut butter cup. Boom, good. Eat that shit. I was like, I hate you. And I got to make my mouth wide so I don't fuck up my teeth, throw it up. Because, you know, people throw like, I'm like, let's shoot out like The Exorcist. Because, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I love the fact now. That's why I'm going to, like, even though it's hot today, like I said earlier, even though it's hot today, I'm going to work out later because I've gotten used to, I've liked the progress.
Right.
I've enjoyed the buying clothes now off the rack, looking at things and being like, you know what, let's see if it fit, and it do, and I'm like, or I think something fit and it's too snug, or I'm thinking it's gonna be too snug and it don't look right, and I'm like, oh, this do look right. Oh, these workouts have been helping. Like, I bought a bunch of shirts from Leaders. Like, I've always wanted to buy Leaders shit, even when I lived at the crib. But I was like, I'm not gonna be able to fit nothing from Leaders. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I bought a shirt about a couple months ago. I bought because I needed new t-shirts, and also I needed shirts that had another color besides white, black, or gray. Because that was all I had in the closet. So I saw this orange t-shirt, and I was like, yo, let me get an orange shirt. Put it on, I was like, word. So then I bought another shirt. Same thing, and it's like now I bought a couple of champion shirts because I was like, they 2XL, let me put them on, see what happens. I bought my Black Man of Dope shirt, and I'm like, I feel good wearing these. You know what I'm saying? It ain't an I feel bad thing, man. And that's the thing I've been loving about my workouts, bro.
That's why every time I see you on Instagram, you know, just popping up the workout results and such like that, it's like, man, that's just great inspiration, not only for myself but for other people who, like, you know, just going through this thing of just, you know, just eating right, trying to stay fit, trying to stay healthy, especially trying to stay healthy, man.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, everybody's like, why is your pictures of you doing them in the same pose? I'm like, first of all, my arms be killing me, and you lucky you get this for me even doing the pictures. And I was like, with Sean T, like, he works you out.
Right.
And it's 25 minutes, but it works you for real. Like, if you in it, you in it. Like, dude, I could barely do a burpee before I started this.
Oh, wow.
And his Speed 3.0 workout is also burpee hell. Because you do so many fucking burpees through the workout. And granted, unless you like super tiny and you in like a pretty decent shape already, you're not gonna do every single burpee. But it started getting to the point where I was like, I'm finna do these burpees. And I started pushing myself through the burpees. And I was like, okay. But on top of that, you're doing so much other shit. And so you're burning consistently. I'm like, you up, back, down, push-ups. You turn this way, spin this way, turn this way, spin this way, drop, do this, squats, all this at one time.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it is so much. But it's when I started, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be anything. And then I started paying attention to how I was looking, and I started seeing the difference, and I was like, oh. But dude, I think the biggest one for me was when I realized I'm lifting using resistance bands and my own body weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I started bulking up. I was like, what the fuck?
Man. And that's something I gotta get back on myself, resistance bands. Because right now, like when I'm off work and when I do get my workout on, I'm mainly using kettlebells. But like when I'm like at work, because even though I'm a forklift driver, I still got to do some type of manual labor. So I'm wrestling with either, refrigerators, helping people load up refrigerators into their vehicles, or, doing, stoves.
Start from, I'm mainly using kettlebells.
Okay. Yeah. So like I mainly use kettlebells when I'm off work. But then after I, if I'm not using kettlebells at home, I'm at work, because even though I'm a forklift driver mainly by profession, I'm still like, wrestling with stuff like loading up refrigerators and people's vehicles, stoves or whatever, bathtubs. And some of them suckers is heavy as hell, man.
Bro, you just said a bathtub.
And no, just lifting up a bathtub, but lifting up a bathtub while you're 20, 30 feet up in the air on a lift operator. Yeah. Yeah. And keep in mind, I've been doing this type of thing for 16 years.
Okay.
Hey.
Like, okay. But hey, man, this has been a fun discussion, bro, as always. We're going to keep doing these, man. I know you got a lot of thoughts you be getting out and a lot of things you want people to hear. So go on and tell people how they can find you.
Hit me up at CCW_78 on Instagram. You can also look me up under Chauncey Woodson on Facebook. And coming soon, I'm going to be doing a little something called Chauncey Chat Live. It's going to be a live interactive movie discussion thing I'm going to do off of Instagram, maybe also on Facebook, maybe Instagram. Talk to this cool gentleman right here that I'm talking with now. Also talking with a couple other, I'm talking about you. Also talking to some other folks, just, get a little more in-depth on certain movie topics and subjects, not just, every other day movie reviews that other people may do, but just dig a little deeper, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm going to have going on pretty soon.
But yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope, everything you got going. But as always, follow me, Twitter, Instagram, Mr. J Washington. Y'all already know everything else. Find me if you want to join the Super Villain Squad. It's on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. Check out the Mad Titan podcast and make sure you check out Blurs in the Hood every Tuesday live, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, on the Blurs in the Hood YouTube channel, youtube.com/Blurs in the Hood. We may have an announcement about another date. Stay tuned for that. Chauncey Woodson, I thank you, broski, and I thank you all for checking this. So I will holler at you guys a little bit later. Take care. I'm out. Bye.
Salute, people.